I wonder what Arsenio's doing right now. He probably at a wine and cheese party.
Damn! There's some good-ass cheese.
They don't tell him how good the cheese is, he'll be mad.
I couldn't even tell me how good the cheese was. Motherfucker. Good-ass cheese, nigga. You looking at? I was surprised if you bank-flipping motherfucker. You should have told me how good the cheese was.
I wonder what Arsenio's doing right now. He probably...
What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start? Round one. So what's up, fight fans? Listen, man, we have a big fight coming up this weekend. You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of announcements. You know, the Navarrete and Chucky Foster fight is on the horizon. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the Teofimo Lopez Rolly card, what your thoughts, what your predictions are. So don't forget to hit this like button, become a Round One Sports Talk member, and like always, let's hop right into this episode. All right.
Good morning, buddy.
Hold on
Ugh, my
one second
breath,
here. I seem to be having a little bit of a salute. What's up, Mr. Miyagi? How you doing? Early in the building, huh? Hyped up for this, huh? Yup. They talking Rolly to Asgard. Listen, this. Hold on. I was trying to get my sound here and hear it. So give me 1 second. Hold on, guys. Let me switch this over. I just gotta hear this sound, man. I'm curious to see how it's sounding right now. All right. Come on, everyone talk. What's up, Mr. Miyagi? How you doing? Why can't I hear it? In the building, huh? Hyped up for this, huh? Why can't I hear you guys now? Yup. They talking Rolly. Let's see here. It's awfully low. Asgard. Nah, I can't hear none of you guys. Something's wrong today. You guys hear me out there loud and clear? Is my mic working, Mr. Miyagi, man? Because apparently I can't hear shit. Can you hear me? What the hell is going on? I can hear that. All right, hold on, guys. I don't hear shit in my headset at all. Nothing. I apologize for this, but I got to make sure that you guys are hearing me and I'm not just talking into a microphone. Okay, I got it. Just finished my training for the day. So back to my hotel and oh yeah, you got your Miyagi training in for the day. Wax on, wax off. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Miyagi? You know what I mean? Out there doing it real big, huh? Listen, so let's get into this. So we got Teofimo Lopez and we got Rolly, right? And a lot of fight fans right now are starting to question the fight. And the way that they're questioning the fight, they're saying the friendship between Rolly and Teal. Now, I've seen in sports where two friends fought, and the fight was a little bit lackluster. It looked like a glorifying sparring match, right? But I also saw two friends inside of the ring go in there and try to tear each other's head off. Now, I really believe when I'm looking at these two fighters, like I'm looking at Rolly and I'm looking at Teal, right? Two competitive, equal fighters. Teal wants to get back in championship graces, and Rolly wants to maintain his championship status, right? Look, guys, I saw Andy the Destroyer Ruiz fight against Gerald Miller, and I saw them go against each other, and they were friends, and they had a hell of a fight. And I mean a hell of a fight. Now, I think that yes, there is mutual respect here for both fighters, right? But Rolly gave Tio an opportunity at his belt for multiple reasons. One, Tio's got a big name. Two, he wants to beat Tio. They can spar, they can be the best of friends, but both of these guys, make no mistake, are warriors. You might have beat me up in sparring back then, but I'll beat you on a world stage when all the chips are on the line. That's what Rolly's saying. I think from the moment the fight starts, there's going to be mutual respect. But I'm trying to tell you, as soon as Rolly punches Tio hard, all bets are off. I believe it. Tio is not going to look at Rolly like his friend at that moment, and he's going to want to punch him equally as hard in the face. And it goes for both fighters. I think that as soon as Tio hits Rolly, and Rolly goes, "Oh shit, oh it's like that," they're gonna go at it. They're gonna go at it because Rolly, he doesn't have that sense. Rolly don't got that kind of like, oh, let me take it easy on you type shit. Rolly is, listen, from what I've heard from Rolly throughout the years, he was a bit of a bully. He always wanted to lead by power. They always said that Rolly, he's real aggressive, a wild guy, and he'll just take it to you. When Rolly was coming up in these gyms, especially in that Mayweather gym, he must have viewed himself, or people must have viewed him as the one to beat up on. Rolly didn't have a lot of skills, so to make his way in those kind of places, he had to be aggressive, a beast. And Rolly, bro, you know how many times people in them gyms or something said, "Oh, you ain't skillful, whatever," try to laugh him out the gym. Rolly came back the next day. Rolly don't got that kind of mentality where he's gonna allow shit to fucking fuck with him like that. Not in that sense. Now, every fighter, they go through their up and downs, emotions, and Rolly has, gone through his. But when it comes to that fighting sense, that's the one thing Rolly does. He's gonna fight you. When it comes to criticism and his emotions and what he lets and allows to get to him, that's on him. That's on him. But I'm saying when it comes to fighting, you punch Rolly in the face, I'm telling you, he strikes me as the type of man that if you hit him in the face, he's gonna forget everything about you. He's gonna attack you. He's going to fucking try to rip your head off. That's Rolly. Then, right after, he's the type of person like me. Like, I can get angry at something, and my wife always says this to me: you quickly let shit go. You forget about it fast. She said, that's the one thing I like about you. Yeah, you upset about something or something, right? But it doesn't take long for you to move on to the next thing. And I says, that's what helps me in my reporting because I get a lot of shit, right? And that's just my ability. I'm always just, oh, all right, boom, let's go. Some shit'll fuck with me, of course. I'm only human. Not everything I can let fucking roll off. But for the most part, people know that about me. Yeah, I'll be upset for something or I'll let something get to me for a little while. But and then it's like, boom, let's go. Right? Okay. And Rolly strikes me as that type of man. He strikes me as the type of guy that he will punch you in the face and he will give you his best and then go out to dinner with you later on that night. That's Rolly. But if he doesn't like you, Rolly, he don't like you. He don't like you. Rolly, like he wears his heart on his sleeve. You ever hear that expression? He says what he means and he says what he feels, right? And a lot of times I hear Rolly talk, I'm saying to myself, I can't learn nothing from that dude. And then every now and then he says some shit, and I'm like, this motherfucker, right? He got me thinking. I'm like, yo, Rolly, okay, okay, Rolly, I see you, right? And I've been seeing him on interview because look, when he was like on the press conferences with like Tank and some of these things, he would say shit that just you would question. You'd be like, I'm not sure Rolly's like all there, right? And his demeanor and everything it can give you, and fucking Two Tone be roasting him, right? So you don't read the book by its cover. Rolly is much more than that. He's not a poet. He's not this stoic dude that comes up with these one-liners that will leave you fucking speechless. He's not that. He's a fighter. He's a warrior. I commend Rolly for the skills that he has. I'm just speaking honest. For him to accomplish what he accomplished in his career, no matter what you think, no matter what you think. Listen, oh, who the fuck Rolly fought this, that, and third, blah, blah. Listen, Linda's out there. Give the man some credit. He fucking did it. And he didn't do it with Top Rank, with the fucking management. They threw Rolly in with the fucking Wolves. Let's just remember, Rolly was never supposed to win that fight against Ryan. He was the sacrificial lamb. Okay? They put him in there with Tank, right? They tried to sacrifice Tank at that time. That was an in-house fight. A lot of people were saying they trying to put Tank in with a big dude with a big puncher like Rolly, not a lot of skills, but that the power would, defeat the skillful American. You know what I'm saying? And Tank prevailed because they were setting Tank up. Just remember that. That fight with Tank and Rolly, Tank was leaving Mayweather at the time. They made that in-house fight, and Rolly was like this silent assassin type of guy you don't see as a lot of skills, but if you sleep on that man and he connects, lights out, bro. So they put a hit on Tank at the time when they put him against Rolly. And like I said, they just thought that size and power, which is usually the kryptonite to a more skillful, smaller man. You know what I'm saying? Just put him in with a bigger guy with a big punch. The skills ain't going to be able to pay the bills on that night. The lights are getting turned off. You know what I'm saying? So, but Tank prevailed. So, as Rolly was going out through his career, I think that a lot of fans gravitated towards him because of his charisma, the ability that he showed other fighters coming up. Man, look at this guy. He's trying. He's trying. He's like out there fucking fighting. And then like fights with Ismail Barocha, right? That didn't help Rolly's case. That didn't help his case. I mean, Ismail, like, look how old he was at the time. The stoppage was questionable. And like a lot of real hardcore boxing fans that have high standards that for like when they watch the fighter that you got to look a certain way. Rolly didn't check all the boxes. He was everything that you thought a champion should be. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. So I think that a lot of people, half of his fans were the kind of fans that the little engine that could, and the other half of the fans were like real harsh on him. Real judgment. Nah, his skills ain't that, man. He blah 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 blah. He ain't no level fighter. He ain't even a B+ fighter. Blah 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 blah. This, that, and the third. Then when Rolly came into that fight with Ryan, he was the sacrificial lamb. Ryan Garcia was supposed to go in there after a year layoff, dust him off. His compadre, right? Uh, fucking Devin Haney, he, although his performance wasn't the best at the time, okay, he did his part. Devin won his fight. A little bit of fucking merry-go-round, okay. But Devin did what he had to do, right? What did Ryan do? He fumbled the bag. Let's just be honest. Ryan fumbled the bag. No matter what outcome you want this, to flip it to make it look good. Let's say at the time Ryan would have beat Rolly in a hypothetical. Let's say Ryan would have won that fight. Then they would have fought and whatever money. Now, if it so happens to be that fight happens again and both of them are champion and it's a bigger fight for even more money that they would have really have divine intervention, right? Sometimes you view things as fucking up. Later on, that same fuck up could bring you to even a better place. People say, man, that's misfortune. Maybe let's see how this plays out. And if the boxing god said, wait a minute, fans, you guys don't understand. We can't have this fight right now. These guys are not ready. Bing, divine intervention, stop the fight from happening. Why? Because maybe, just maybe, in the future, right, it would be a bigger fight, a bigger matchup, with both guys coming back to meet again after all that controversy, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, right? All that shit is going to resurface. The belts are going to be on the line. The testing, they're going to be like this on Ryan. Ryan, it's time to test you. You just tested me 20 minutes ago. It's standard procedure. Standard procedure, Ryan. Are you denying it? Right? Every 20 minutes, Bill Haney's going to have them testing Ryan. And watch the creams and the lotions, Ryan. You know what I'm saying? And stay away from the creams and the lotions. Yo, but all jokes aside, Ryan Garcia proved that it wasn't the PEs. Let's just not forget that. For as much as trolling and everything and what Ryan, I'm not excusing Ryan at all. Drug cheat. That's it. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry, Ryan. You never proved your case. Ryan, I got to call it like it is. If you're watching this or you see this and you say, yo, round one, why you like, no, Ryan, look, Ryan, I can't excuse someone's behavior just because I think, well, maybe he might have not done it. Unfortunately, Ryan, the rules state you are responsible for whatever goes into your body. If there's a fucking water bottle in the gym and you're training and it's not yours, I suggest you don't pick it up and drink it. So the bottom line, Ryan Garcia, is you were found guilty because of the fact you could not prove where it came from. And since till this very day, you have not proved your innocence, unfortunately, you are a drug cheat. That's the way it works, Ryan. I'm sorry, but that's the way it works. Okay? So when Ryan Garcia went into the fight with Rolly, he passed the drug test and lost the fight. When Ryan Garcia went into the fight, the world title fight with the WBC on the line against Mario Barrio, he passed the drug test and won the title. And look better than he ever did. I'm not going to say he looked spectacular. He looked Ryan spectacular. For as far as him on his level, you can see he turned it up a level. So the next time you saw Ryan, he got better. That much I can say about him, at least on that level for him. Not in the sense of spectacular where that he looked better than every other boxer. I'm not judging him to everybody else. I'm just judging him to Ryan Garcia. And he did look better. So he proved. I know a lot of fight fans don't want to connect the dots because they're not trying to help Ryan. They're not helping Ryan's case. The Devin fans actually, what you mean? You know what I'm saying? You figure it out, right? Okay. So here on Round One Sports Talk, we want to just remind you that Ryan Garcia did fight Mario Barrio, drug testers, all the fucking scrutiny, all the lights were on him. And he looked better, way better than the Devin fight. So, and then that's when the noise started to subside. The hardcore Devin Haney fans didn't want to let it go. Those guys, they weren't letting it go. So there was a little bit of noise from the Devin fans still, not believing that Ryan was, they were just making all these kind of references and comparisons. They didn't address it though. They just kept calling him drug cheat, but didn't acknowledge his performance and that it solidified. Wait a minute. Nah, Ryan was still just as fast, just as strong. He dropped Mario Barrio in the first round, bro. With like a brutal attack, like boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh shit, right? Ryan floored him. Didn't keep him down, but his composure, his awareness, he was locked in until the last round where the bell went bing, and then that's when Ryan got out of character. But even when he dropped Mario Barrio, you go back and watch Ryan's face. He's like this. He's like he wasn't satisfied. The mission is not complete until they say winner, winner. Then he let it all out. But Ryan stood focused. I mean, he was like, you know how some fighters drop a guy, boom, 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 and they think they got him finished. They run across, jump on the rope, start banging their chest, yeah, and turn around, and the guy's standing up, and the ref's like, "Hey, are you good?" And he's like, and he let the fight out of him. He let the fight out of him, and and he loses control, and he goes out there and walks into a big shot, or he had an adrenaline dump. He lets the fight out, and he just gets tired. He's just like, fuck. He let it out, man. And he fucked up, and the guy was more durable. And the ref saw it and said, you know what? You're not out. Come on, and go. And then all of a sudden, we see a remarkable comeback. We've seen that in the sport of boxing. Ryan stood focused, man. Mario Barra went down. He was looking at him like, get up. Go ahead, get up. Get up. I'm going to bust your ass. Yo, you could see it in his demeanor. So, Ryan, check that box for me. Can you stay in the fight? That's very important. It's very important. Can your will be broken? Remember, leading into the fight with Devin Haney told Ryan Garcia all week, all you are is the quitter, and all you have is a left check hook. You're a quitter, and you have a left check hook. That's all you have, Ryan. You quit against Tank Davis. When Tank Davis himself told you guys, what did Tank Davis reveal to the world? Ryan Garcia's injury was real. That he even had a mold inside of Ryan's camp that came back like a little fucking snitch and went and told Tank that Ryan had an injury. When Tank tried to put Ryan down and Ryan got back up, Tank said, oh shit, I literally hit him with all my power. And he didn't stay down. He said, let me go to the injury. And he went to the rib shot. Ryan's rib was already fractured. When Tank hit him, that must have been really painful. Ryan checked out. I don't think he quit in the sense, I think he was really hurt. He was badly hurt. And Ryan was sitting there like that with his fucking rib, and he looked at Tank and he was like, "You dirty motherfucker, because you knew my rib was fucked up." And Tank, in the beginning of the fight, he didn't target that rib. Tank knew about it, but he wanted to beat Ryan on the up and up. But the minute he hit Ryan and Ryan got back up, Tank went right to the injury. And since Tank Davis himself told the world that, where I get my information is from Tank. Tank said that on an interview. He said, "What you think I didn't know about the injury? The rib injury? What you think I don't know about that? I knew about that." Tank revealed it. So that didn't really make Ryan a quitter. It just, Ryan knew, all right, Tank, you know about the injury. If I get up, you're just going to go right back to the injury. And then that could fuck up my career. Trying to be stubborn. Because you already know I'm fucking, just like in the Gladiator movie, when the dude wanted to act like he was going to whoop fucking Maximus's ass. What did he have him do? He had him stab him in the arm. He said, conceal the injury. Conceal it. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to beat this great gladiator and no one's going to know he got one arm. He only had one arm because they cut his fucking tendons underneath his arm. So, like, you know, Ryan checks out. And then Devin says, all you are is a quitter and a left check hook. What was the first thing Devin Haney got hit with in the first round? A left check hook. So you knew all the answers to the test and you failed the test? You had all the answers. If you know that Ryan Garcia is a left check hook, what were you working on in the gym, Devin? What were you working on? What were you working on to block the left check hook? If you knew exactly the punch he was going to throw and he didn't hide it, he hit you with the punch, you knew. The fuck were you working on? In your entire training camp, y'all knew exactly what Ryan was. Y'all done sparred him 6 times. You're 3-3 in the amateurs. You know, not sparring 6 times, but fighting, competing in the amateurs. And then they probably sparred numerous times. Who knows? Okay, I don't know how many times they actually sparred with no one, you know, them two just meeting up. No cameras in the gym type shit. Happens all the time. Not every sparring match is recorded or documented. These guys just meet up at a location and they train. You know, so I really don't know. But I do know they competed 6 times against each other. I do know that Devin told the world, he told us, you're a quitter and a left check hook. Round 1, left check hook. The fuck were you working on, Devin? Devin, you can't do that, Devin. You can't literally know what he's going to do and still get caught with it. In the first round, maybe in the 6th round, he disguises it a little bit and he snuck it in there. Round 1.
Round 1.
He catch. Come on, Dev. Dev, you got to take some responsibility here, Dev. You got to take some accountability, Devin. You slept on Ryan, Devin. Just Ryan, Devin, you slept on him. Devin, you're a better boxer, Devin. Yes. You got better skills than Ryan. Yes. You underestimated Ryan, bro. And whether you come out and say it or not or admit it, that's the only explanation I got for why you lost to Ryan. You should have never lost to Ryan Garcia. Listen, if you put Ryan Garcia in with Devin 6 times, it's going to be 3-3. I got proof. I got evidence on that one. I was thinking about it while I was saying it. I was like, well, they actually did fight 6 times in the amateur, and they were 3-3. So, no, bro, it's a 50-50 fight. Y'all know each other too much. Y'all too good. You know what I'm saying? Know each other. Listen, Ryan sparred and fought Devin so much, he knows Devin's mannerisms. You know those little tales that you do since a kid, that no matter what the coach does, you still do that stupid little thing. Whether you lean too far in, whether you keep your chin up and he's been telling you get like this, eventually you're just gonna, because it's just things that were like that we adopted as kids. And there was just certain things we did in moments, and it froze us in time. And we can't shake those little fucking tails. Ryan knows that about Devin, and Devin knows that about Ryan. They know each other way too well, man. That's always going to be a 50-50 fight. Always, always. When the guy knows you that good, you can't sleep on him. And with Ryan, with his speed and his power, I mean, if you were training with a guy and sparring with him and you were constantly always whooping his ass, you know what I'm saying? But there's going to come a time where, and look at Albert Bell and Abdullah Mason. Rumors say that Albert Bell used to punish Abdullah Mason. He used to punish him in sparring because Abdullah was young. Albert Bell is a lot older than Abdullah Mason, bro. He's got him by like 4, 5, 6 years, right? So like, uh, when then on their night, they finally met up. And Albert Bell knew Abdullah Mason very well. He knew what he can do, how to frustrate the young man. Abdullah Mason remembers those days. Albert Bell was giving him all kinds of fits and sparring. And Abdullah at the time was seeing a different level. And Albert Bell was on that level. And lo and behold, Abdullah Mason gets to the title before Albert Bell does. Right? Okay, that's everybody's career. It takes different paths. I'm not here to judge that right now. What I'm here to judge is when you spar against somebody and under the bright lights, when everything's on the line, that's a different fight. That's a different fight. See, in sparring, my girlfriend's not in sparring, the crowd. If I lose, it's a win or a loss on my record. Plus, the world title is not on the line in sparring. You can't imitate everything in sparring on fight night. All the reporters, everybody there to see you, the pressure. When you're sparring, you're free. That's when you play. That's when you get in there and you like, let's get it, baby. You know what I'm saying? You start to develop the fighter you want to be in fight night. So in sparring, you put it all together and you start to like, you can fuck around, you could do things, be careful, but you in there and you're trying to let it go. You're trying to flow. You're not trying to be so fighting like, son, throw the 1-2. Okay, 2-4, right? Like you don't want to fight boxing robotic. You know how to throw these punches. You got good form. What you want to do is you want to put it together. And you got to know the when and the where. When to use that uppercut. When to use that check hook. When to let your hands go. When you're tired, you got to understand that letting your hands go, you're going to feel tired. But if you actually throw your hands, you're not going to be tired. For some strange reason, when you're tired, if you shell up in the high guard, you get more tired. You're just tired and you're going back. Your anxiety and your confidence is not backing your body. So when your body starts to see that you checked out, your body starts to retreat. You start to get tired, you start to break down. But I guarantee you, I fucking guarantee it. If you keep throwing your hands, and I proved it. Y'all saw round one tired out there in Atlanta, right? Round one was tired as hell, right? So I felt every bit of 50, 51 years old that day, right? And I was dead ass tired. And I was so hurt too. Like, I mean, I'm mad because that's not the way I fight, but it's okay. It's okay. Hopefully I'll fight again, and I guarantee I'll be better. I'll be better, right? But you know, if you come up and you say, "Yo, this you were tired," people going, they don't want to hear that bullshit. So you just take the loss. That's it. That's it. Like a man, right? But I was tired in that fight. I was tired. And one thing I kept telling myself, bro, I'm not gonna shy away from this dude. Like OC the boss, he wasn't like this imposing. Remember, I fought dudes like this, they a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? Like there was nothing. So he didn't. I wasn't scared in that sense. I was scared to gas out. My fear was I was gonna beat myself. That was my fear. But the energy that I was able to sustain came from me throwing punches. Had I, and that was my mistake in round three when I started circling because I was tired. I needed to get to a little bit in the round so that I could feel like I could throw the rest of my, and then I rolled my ankle, which in fact, to this very day, is not right. That shit never healed right, bro. It's still fucked up. So, um, but what kept me in the fight, right? And then when they gave him those bullshit knockdowns, that shit pissed me off. Started fighting stronger. I was boom, 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 and I hit him with one. The only shot I hit him in the fight that I felt with in my hand, I hit him with it. Boom, and the ref jumped in. If you go back to the fight, you're gonna see he takes an awkward step back. I knew I hit him pretty decent. I never hit him with my power because a power shot takes a lot from you. It would have drained me. So I couldn't hit him with my power, but I knew that if I kept throwing my hands, at least throwing my hands, because I couldn't go forward, man. Yo, dog guys, family, man. Yo, both the tendons in my feet were ripped, man. I couldn't step forward. I couldn't, like hop on the balls of my feet. I couldn't do any of that shit. Bro, to tell you guys the truth, I'm being honest, I never publicly came out and said this. But the night before the fight, I was in the hotel room. I literally almost went to sleep crying from so much pain I was in. I'm not going to bitch up and be like, yo, this, that, you know what I'm saying, and making excuses. But, I'll talk about it now because it's over with. I took the loss like a man. That's it. Never said any of this shit. But like the next morning, bro, I was going to call the fight off. Literally, I couldn't get out of bed and put on my socks. I was like putting my feet down and I started praying and everything. I was like, damn, man, I made it this far. If I fucking back out now, I'll be the laughing stock of fucking social media. The pressure that was like at that point, there was no backing down. I want to act like a tough guy and everything, be like, man, I went out there by myself, no coach, no nothing. Yeah, I did that part. But physically, like what I felt, then I got that shit for my shoulder. That black fucking thing. I got something wrong right here in my shoulder. I can't lift my arm all the way up. And it's my right hand. It's my power shot. So I went to the CVS, I got that baking soda water trick. I was trying everything, bro. Everything. I Googled every fucking method. What's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I was fucked up, bro. Tell you the truth, I was really hurt. And I was playing it off. I was going out there and I was like out there with the guys. And I think some of the guys saw it. They saw that I was hitting hard, but my right arm was tweaking. And if anybody ever noticed, I never walked fast anywhere in there. I was just like tiptoeing, like boop, boop. Like I would talk to you and hey, yeah, yeah. And then tip, tip. I go like that. Right. And I try to like block it out. What did happen though, after a while in the morning, it subsided. The pain in my feet subsided a little. I had to like get it warmed up, like the bottom of my feet. So as the hours started going, the pain did go down a little. I don't know if it went down or my brain just registered the pain as like I was trying to like just be like, fuck it. Like I accepted the pain. Like maybe the pain never actually went down. I was just like mentally like fuck it, type shit. Maybe that, but I was really fucking hurt, like bad, and I just couldn't back down. I just couldn't back down. You know what I'm saying? Like the fight was here. That was it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be motherfucking Richard Hitchens. I'm not gonna be him. You know what I'm saying? There's just different kind of men in this world. And whether I won or lost, whether I won or lost, I went that far, you know what I'm saying? Then you gonna have to show me. Just beat me. He beat me. He beat me. He beat me. I lost. Cool. No problem. Thank you for the experience. Thank you for the time. I I pushed myself, and I fought a younger fighter. At least I can say that, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? That a young man beat me. You know what I'm saying? But the whole moral to that was I kept punching. I kept punching, and that's what kept me in the fight. Even though I was tired, it was just I knew I had to keep throwing them. You know what I'm saying? And if I was gonna go down on my shield, there was no other better way. I'd rather go down in a fight than throwing them. I don't want to strike out looking at the pitch. I want to strike out swinging. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be standing there at the plate and watching the pitches go by. Oof, oof, oof. Strut, you're out. And you never swung the bat. You didn't try. You didn't try to hit the pitch. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, Edwin, you're gonna gas out. You're gonna lose this fight. And I was like, I know. I'm probably gonna gas out. I'm fucking hurt. I know. But if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down swinging, baby. Let's go. And that's what I decided to do. That was it. That was it. You know, I was scared. I was scared in the fight. I was scared, man. I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck, right? Like, because it's not you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're like mad because like if you like if I got the right training and I was better dedicated to myself and shit, and I let a lot of shit come in between the training and shit, and a lot of injuries, a lot of 2 or 3 days off. I didn't have that luxury when you only got 2 months to train. You got like 60 days, 70 days to train. And a 2, 3 days off, 4 days off on a fucking 60, 70 day training after not training for over 35 years or something. That's pretty fucking tough. Throughout all, no matter what, you know what I'm saying? I give myself credit for at least competing. I didn't try to win. No. Uh you always look back at things and you say you could have did things better. It kind of leaves you with this sense of like, I want to do that again. I want to try that again. You know what I'm saying? And I do. I just had a lot of unfortunate situations, my daughter and shit and stuff. And I'm getting over a lot of different, you know, things in my life and shit. So, but I think round one's going to do it again. I think he's going to do it again, man. I just, I just know I can fight better. You know what I'm saying? And it's always the athlete. It's always the individual, right? I remember the fighter I once was. I know he's there. I know he's there. But boy, after so long not fighting, trying to get yourself to react in certain situations, man, you feel awkward as fuck. You like your body's not doing what you once did. You're seeing these openings and situations and you're doing everything wrong. And you know what to do. You, what you're thinking and what's coming out is not matching. It's not matching. That's why you need training. You need training. And that's the one thing I was really never good at, staying disciplined. I can train. I can stay in shape. I don't need nobody to work out with me. No. There'll be times I'll go in and I'll stay in shape. That's not boxing shape. In order to stay in boxing shape, you got to train with your coach. You got to go over drills. You got to go over all that shit. See, I can work out. I can be in shape. I can look great. But the discipline to stay there and go over the drills for hours and hours, that's what I lacked. I wanted to go right back to the streets. Once I was nice and buffed and I felt fucking strong and good, and I didn't need none of that boxing shit in the street. I'm just gonna smash your head. That's it. Like, let's get it, right? And most them dudes in the street wasn't fighting like that. So I always had an advantage until you ran up on that one dude that did train in the fucking in a movie theater over some popcorn, and this motherfucker jump out in a boxing stand and he start throwing them with you, and you get clipped a couple times, and then you looking at your boys like until you run into that, right? Right. So like that that right there, that part of being disciplined, going over the repetitions, not just learning how to throw a punch and saying, "Oh, I got it. Let me leave," like Edwin, right? I don't think it was exactly like that, but that's the short end of the story. I fought a lot. Yes. I trained a lot. Yes. Not to the point that it kept me in the gym. The streets called my attention more. It was more in my face. It was more where I came out, and I saw that I needed things now at the time. And 17, 16-year-old Edwin wasn't going pro at the time. So it is what it is. But, the art of fighting, guys, it's a lot. It's a lot. And these fighters got, in order to be the best fighter in the world, you literally got to give a piece of your soul to the sport. You can't do both. You can't be in the party and training. Doesn't work. Even AB, Adrian Broner, one of the most gifted fighters I've seen, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. You have to stay disciplined. And you know, when it comes to Teofimo Lopez and Rolly, I just think, yes, they do have a friendship bond. I don't think in this kind of situation is going to play a factor. Although, yes, I've seen situations, like I said, I've seen situations where two friends fight and it looks like a glorified sparring match. Let's wake me up when the fight's over type fight. Nothing really exciting. None of these guys taking chances. They respect each other too much. Tio and Rody, both of them don't have any sense. If that was true about Tio, that he was all like, out of control. No, some emotional things and mental health things will affect Tio. But when it comes to fighting, come on, guys, man, that's Teofimo Lopez. He says the most ridiculous shit out of his mouth. I don't think the man really has that kind of, and Rolly doesn't either. I think there's a higher probability that as soon as one of these guys punch each other in the face, a fight's gonna break out. A fight is gonna break out. And I'm banking on that. I'm banking on that. And I think that this fight with Rolly and Tio is a very good fight. Let's remember Tio was viewed as one of the four horsemen. You know what I'm saying? He was, you know what I mean? Rolly's trying to change that. Rolly's trying to, he wants to be the best Cuban fighter in the world. Hilarious, right? But hey, okay, cool. So I really look at the fight, and if I was to break down the fight, right, and if I was to sit here and just be like, yo, let me read some of y'all chats and shit too. What's up, Bull Riders here, Mr. Miyagi? Rolly Ramirez is going to do the same thing he did to Ryan Garcia to Tio. Salute round one, Richard. Okay. Um, no, no. Styles make fights. Rolly and Ryan's style is completely different from Tio's. at the time, Ryan's defense was not so good. His defense, his guard stood up in a Mario Barrio fight. He got tighter. I think it was another case that Ryan was trying to be pretty boy Ryan, and he got caught by fucking Rolly's power. Got a little gun shy, didn't really engage. I think that just because Rolly beat Ryan, that does not give me the sense or the confidence to say that Rolly will beat Teal. You know, that it, it doesn't work that way. Fighting doesn't work that way. You know, there's a lot of cases in boxing where this guy beats this guy but loses to this guy. You know, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, he should have beat him, you know? But, you know, Ryan was coming off a year layoff with all that money. Ryan's physique looked sloppy. The ring rust. And he went in there and he fought Rolly. And he lost. Ryan got serious, went back, felt a little embarrassed. He's lost some of the biggest fights he's ever been in with Tank and Rolly and shit. He lost those fights, and the Devin fight was a no contest. So that was a complete waste of time as it comes to pertain to your record. Not a waste of time in the sense that you guys fought against each other. But the fight doesn't count. So that's a waste of time. So when Ryan came into that fight off a year of inactivity, off of a suspension, because even though it was a suspension, you weren't active, right? Okay. So in that sense, I saw the improvement of Ryan. In the Ryan Rolly fight, I saw the improvement of Rolly. But since that fight, when's the last time Rolly fought? Think about it. Right? And then now he's going into a fight with Teal that just got out of the ring with Shakur. Now, Shakur was able to beat up Teal. That's Shakur Stevenson. Rolly, you're not no Shakur. Now, the power is another thing, right? Rolly's power, his forward aggression, can he clip a punch off the side of Teal's head and wobble him? Yeah, he could. He could. He very much could. But them sparring against each other a lot, and what I was talking about is going to play a factor in this. Whenever Rolly gets in position to trap him, Teal's going to know. He's going to know what Rolly's doing. He's going to know he's trying to back me up to here because he's going to give me that burst where he's going to hit me with that big punch. He did it all the time in sparring. So now what I got to do is right here, in this moment, grab him, push him off, get back to the center of the ring, work my jab. Now he got to get me back into that position where that he can catch me again. And I know what he's doing. Because I've sparred against you numerous of times, and you did it to me in sparring. Teal's gonna pick up on it. Same thing applies to Rolly. If Teal starts trying to go for Rolly's gonna remember this shit. I remember, Teal, I can't do this with you because you're gonna make me pay for that. And it's gonna take away things in the fight that could have happened. Say they never sparred against each other, they have no experience with each other, right? They go in the fight to fight each other, and then on that night, Rolly says, let me try this jab. How Teal fucking punishes him. He's going to have to learn that right then and there. But in this fight, that's not going to happen. Why? Because he knows, I'm not going to do this because you're going to do that. Because you did it to me in sparring. So it has to be a different approach, different things. They're going to know certain things about each other. That if they did not know these things, they would have to figure that out on fight night. You understand? So this is going to be a different fight between Rolly and Teal. It's going to be a different fight. Not sure really which way it goes. I can give you what I think's gonna happen. My breakdown of what I think. I think that, first of all, Teo side. Teo side, right? I think that Teo is gonna control the fight with his jab and slick counterpunching. Teo is a back foot fighter. That's where his greatest strengths. And I think that Teo, he can counter with the best of them. His ability to know how to sneak a shot in on the inside. Teo moves very terribly well with his feet. The one thing I want to say is that I'm not sure at 147. I've never seen Teo's power at 147. I don't know if he has enough power or enough behind his punch to deter Rolly. Rolly's been hit by some big punchers, in his career. He's been on stanky legs, Isapepo Cruz, Tank Davis, Rolly has been hit by some big punchers. I'm not sure if Teo has that much power. Maybe with the new weight division, more size. Maybe Teo's power could show up, with at the right angle and the right distance and the right snap. Any punch can become powerful. Remember, we're dealing with professional fighters that know how to throw a punch. Even Tank Davis, when he knocked out Rolly, he said, I didn't even throw it that hard. It was just technique, form, and he was coming forward. His momentum, my punch, knocked him out. The punch that Tank hit him with wasn't a shot he was looking for to knock him out. It was a calm, calculated shot. Pow. You know what I'm saying? He was evading, but boom, that's all it took. Right timing, technique, and throw your punch right, lights out. So we can't, you can't take that out of the equation. Both of these men know how to throw a punch. And you fuck up, Rolly has the power to put your lights out. Teo can knock out the common man, right? If you're thinking at home, Teo's pillow fisted, he can't punch. No, he can't punch against the best trained chins and durable men that have made a career of being punched in the face and have built a tolerance to being punched. That's the guy he can't knock out. You at home sitting on your couch, you thinking you're going to walk up on Teo because he's pillow fisted and he's not knocking these guys out and he's that small. Don't fuck up. Teo will knock you the fuck out. You might think you're a tough guy. No, he ain't. Teo ain't knocking out shit. Blah, 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 blah. No. A man that knows how to throw a punch is very dangerous. It's different than you just sitting there with anger going, I'm just going to punch Teo. Bro, you're going to get fucked up. When it comes to that, you ever see a street fight with the neighborhood tough guy with like a pro boxer that came back to the neighborhood and this guy wants to, I've seen that shit. Boy, they look bad. Real bad against them dudes. Not a real boxer. Like, no, man. Teo knows how to deliver a shot. You are not trained. You do not have a history of taking punches and your body is not being shocked. Teo gonna hit you with a shot and he gonna sit you down, bro. You're not used to taking shots like that. You might have been hit hard by a neighborhood dude or somebody that is a real puncher and got a natural little gift. Yeah, those guys are out there, yeah. But even the most, like Teo, he's not known right now for power. I bet you Teo can punch better, harder than that dude. It's his delivery. It's the way you're trained to throw it. That's why we got to register our hands. You could be 1-1, 1-0. The trashiest boxer, you still got to register your hands. They don't know how how dangerous you are. You know, there's people, they figure that shit out. Snap out. Out cold. We've seen it all the time, bro. You know, and you know, Tio might not have like boxer knockout power. He is fighting some of the best chins in the world, the most durable of men. You know, when you're getting up there and you're not dropping these dudes like that, you know, you fighting these dudes that are resilient, best of the best, that prove they way, that don't have fucking glass chins. They would have never made it this far in their career. That can't take a punch. They would have never made it this far. When you see the top guys, those are the most durable. Those are the guys that have been battle tested. You understand? That motherfuckers, it's like leather. You know, and they man, it's hard to knock them dudes out. They well trained, well conditioned, been taking punches for years. You ain't knocking them dudes out like that. He's just not. So what gets a lot of these guys knocked out, and in fact, what actually gets a lot of these guys knocked out is the weight cut. That's what really, like, these superior fighters that been in there punching off, had you let them go in there without a weight cut, we don't see a lot of knockouts. That's a fact, Jack. You let all these guys train, don't cut weight, and put them in there to fight, you're not going to see a lot of knockouts. You're going to see a lot of durability. Dudes actually being able to take dudes' punches even better than what they're doing on a weight cut. If they're taking punches on a weight cut like that and not getting knocked out, that should tell you a lot about that dude. That means if you ran up on that dude fully plenished with no weight cut, good luck trying to knock him out. Good luck. Because what gets you knocked out, typically in boxing, are the weight cuts. You don't properly hydrate. And since the brain is the last organ in your body to take back water, you're going to get knocked out easier. Then you say, oh, these guys are training, blah, blah, and they get knocked out. No, well, that's the weight cut. Had you let him, no weight cut, go, that shit don't happen. He don't get knocked out. And then when guys get chinny, right, on top of both things, now you got like everything against you. Your chin checked out on you, and the weight cut, so you got to do the weight cut, and your chin's weak. Bro, that's a double whammy. You going out like motherfucking when Canelo Alvarez knocked out Amir Khan. Amir Khan couldn't do the weight cut and be chinny. One shot, he spun him. His body wasn't strong enough to take the punch, and his chin can't take a punch no more. You might be physically, you're looking good. You're punching everything. It's all working. Your body's fine. You're in shape. You're just your resilience, your durability has checked out. And that's fucked up, man, because you can actually still fight. You can feel it in your body that you can fight, but that shit don't hold up. Even with the weight cuts and everything, then you're out of gas. Maybe Amir Khan, properly hydrated, somebody punches him, he might not go out. You might not be able to knock out Amir Khan. No, no. I know you could take his watch, apparently, right? But you can't knock him out. And I'm sorry, Amir Khan, I took a shot at you right there. It was just a joke. You know, it's been a long time, Amir Khan. Don't take that fucking personal. All right. It was a cheap shot, man. I understand. After I said it, I was like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. But one time, Amir Khan was out there. I guess he was going to like some restaurant or something. He had like $25,000 watch or some shit, or like he had some expensive shit on. Might have been like $200,000 watch or some shit like that. I heard it was some outrageous price. I just don't know if it was 200,000 or 25,000. Right. And though that's a big difference, right? But allegedly, two dudes pulled up on him and they got him for his watch. He was going into the wrestling. They on Amir Khan, and they ran up on him, and it was like, "Yo, get the watch." But Amir Khan said they had a gun. I guess the footage showed the dude only had his hand in his pocket, so I guess he could. He was just going like this. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And fucking Amir Khan, and they ripped the watch off his hand. I think they broke the watch, breaking it off his hand. I don't think he just took it off. And and then Amir Khan was so calm while he was getting robbed. He was mad calm. They were like, yo, like with the gun like that, right, right. And the other guy was, and he was just standing there like this, and he lifted his hand out like that, and they ripped the watch off. And somebody was filming it. I remember watching some film on it, and they got him for his watch. You know what I'm saying? He must, when, like rich people are not like poor people, right? When you don't got no money and this chain is all you got, somebody try to come up on you and rob you for your chain, you gonna fight for it. I've been there. You're not robbing me. You might have to shoot me if I don't get that gun out your hand first. I'm gonna try to play it off like I'm taking it off until I can see where I can get to that gun, and we go. It's gonna happen, right? But when you got money, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got me. Won't let me find out who you are. Okay, you got me. They rip the watch off. They run off on Amir Khan. I'll buy another one. It's not worth. You got something to live for. You have things. You know what I'm saying? It becomes different. Then people look at you like, you bitched up. You let them take your shit. You know what I'm saying? You easy. No, I'm not easy. No, it's not that the Amir Khan's a bitch. Nope, not at all. He just got a lot more to live for. Running, trying to wrestle these punks, you get shot, your life might change, or they might take your life over a watch. Fucking, all right, cool. I promise you, though, don't let me find out who you are. That'll be another episode. But, he got jacked for his watch, bro. I don't see the man, no, you know, in this world, you can either be the jacker or, you could be the victim. 20 years later, you're the victim and they jacking you. A young dude is jacking you and you would use it. So live by the sword, die by the sword. You know what I'm saying? You play around in that life, I guarantee you stay in it long enough, you'll get what you deserve. You'll get exactly what's coming to you. Trust me. So they got him. And Amir Khan, I cleared that up because as soon as I said it, I was like, damn, man, I didn't really have to get at him like that because I like Amir Khan. Yo, Amir Khan at one time, bro, he was a bad motherfucker, bro. Yo, I think, I seen some Amir Khan's fights, and I think, man, that man has some skills. Like when he was like on his A game, bro, it was hard to hit that dude. He would make mental errors and leave himself in situations where he knew he shouldn't have been in. He was better than that. And he was fighting better than that in the first few rounds. And he just did some shit and was in a step. Saul timed him well. I mean, Saul's a master. Come on, guys. Like, Saul is fucking Saul Canelo Alvarez for a reason. Say what you want about the man. The man is a fucking good fighter. Yeah, so but Amir Khan was fucking good, like a better than good. He was better than good. Uh for whatever reason, I don't want to sit here and go through Amir Khan's fucking autobiography, but if you know, you know. If you know about him, you know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Yeah, and then oh shit. You know what? I be making these videos, right? I'm sitting here, I start fucking monologuing, right? But I love it. And this, this is my kind of show, right? And I'll be making these things right here. You see, with the Navarrete and Oshaki Foster. Shit, I got one for fucking Theo and Rody, right? And I'll be making these things and I'll be talking and I'll be forgetting. After the show finishes, I'm like, bro, I made all these things for the show. I don't even use it. I swear to God, bro, I got to get my shit together because I'm trying to tell you, we were talking about Tio and Rody, and it also helps me keep track of what the fuck I was talking about. Because all of a sudden I start talking about boxing and I go all the way over here. I don't know why, but hey, it's this conversation. I'm a bit of a conversationalist, right? But when it comes to this fight right here with Tio and Rody, you know, um, this fight is going to open the doors for the rest of the division. It's the foundation right now of where we're going to be headed. One of these gentlemen right here is going to become the WBA champion at 147, which in fact, is a better fight for a future fight, maybe against like a fighter like Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Because Devin Haney is trying to get some of these guys in the ring, and it looks to be a little bit tricky to get these guys in the ring with him. Okay. We had other fights like Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. That's another big fight, and we're going to be getting to that fight. And we'll be breaking down that fight and talking about that fight as well. But I also wanted to talk about Oshaki Foster and Navarrete, like in the title. So we're going to keep it there. Look, I've heard a couple things and a couple takes about this fight right here in particular, the Vaquero and Oshaki Foster. Um, um, I heard a couple people chime in and on their opinion on what they believe this fight is. Now, opinion to the side. No matter if you think that Navarrete hasn't fought any of the best Black American slick style fighters, that he has been managed well through Top Rank, that he lost to Dennis Berenchek, which we're not even giving Keyshawn Davis credit on the Dennis Berenchek win. We're not. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was a lopsided fight, like Dennis Berenchek. If you didn't tell me who the champion was and you turned off the volume and I would have watched the fight, I would have thought the entire time Keyshawn Davis was the champion. I would have thought that Dennis Berenchek was the challenger, right? And then Navarrete loses to this guy. You know what I'm saying? Now, when he fought Ibe, well, African, Black American, two different. They're different style fighters. The slick Black American fighter is not the African fighter. They're not the same. Although shit looks like it's changing now, there's a lot of young African kids on the internet and YouTube that Terrence Crawford goes out there and that little fucking thing that he's building. Them kids is hitting the mitts and them bags pretty intelligently. Good form. Bro, them kids is looking, when there's going to be a wave, I think, of African fighters in the future. Some of their guys, they were just tough. The African dudes, they were tough, dudes, strong. They were strong like oxes. They just weren't like skilled. They some of them were a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's that dude that Terrence Crawford fought. What was his name? He was an African dude. He was the champion. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, good, but not like American black good. The African man and the Black American man, they're two different black. That's two different black, brother. Yeah, they're not the same. American made fighter. Ooh, they different kind of fighters. So whether you think Navarrete has been managed tiptoe well against the Black African style, I say this to that kind of comment. Okay, I respect what you're saying, but that is true and not true. It is true and not true at the same time. Maybe he just couldn't beat those kind of guys at that time. He wasn't ready to fight the American black slick style. It's a bit too tricky when performed at the top level. Not every black dude can pull off the black American slick style. No. You might have a version of it or representation of it, but you might not be pulling it off at the highest level. No. Okay? So let's just be careful with that. Not every brother can fight like that. No. But when it's performed at the highest level, it is a very difficult style to beat. The fact that he's fighting him now, he's not avoiding a black American fighter now. Now he's ready. Now he's ready to challenge himself. Just because at one point in time of his career, he might have not been ready for that style, that type of fighter. Okay? And there's also the elephant in the room. Sometimes these Mexican dudes want to help out another Mexican fighter. I'd rather fight a Mexican fighter, put money in his pocket, than to fight you type shit. Navarrete and Oscar Valdez. I feel like the Mexicans like to keep sometimes Mexican on Mexican crime. Whoever wins, guess who's going to win tonight? Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Right? So I've seen that in the Americans do it. The Americans do the same thing. Tank Davis didn't want to put $1 in any other country's pocket. He said, if I'm going to fight a fight, then I'm going to fight Lamont Roach. I'm going to help out my boy. We know each other a little bit. We got a little bit of history. But if I'm going to help out anybody and put a little coin, I'm gonna help out another black American fighter. I'm going to give you the fight rather than a Mexican or a Japanese guy or a UK guy. Tank says, I'm going to give it to an American guy. The Americans do the same shit. Same fucking shit. A lot of these places do the same shit. They rather see their own country, and some at the highest level, once they get to a certain degree, they don't want to fight their same country. They don't want to disrespect or bring down the flag or be the one to beat their countrymen because now they're in a different place. Those young fights where you do fight your way out of your country and you got to fight your countrymen, those kind of, that's, certain situations and shit. And these guys will want to give the opportunity to their countrymen. It depends what the situation is. And Tank had a fight to fuck around with because I guess the fight he wanted didn't happen. So since he had kind of like a pick 'em fight, well, I'll pick my American fighter then. If I'm gonna put money in his pocket, I'm gonna help him out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna help him out by knocking him out. I'm helping you out, but I'm also gonna knock you out for the payday. You know what I mean? It's a brutal sport. It's a brutal sport. So yeah, man. What up, guys? What you guys saying over here? Jim. I want that fight to go on with Dalton Smith and Alberto Puello. There was a little hiccup there. A little hiccup with the fight. Then I guess the fight got rescheduled, right? With the Dalton Smith and the Alberto Puello fight, right? But I want that fight to happen because, you know, um, somehow, some way, I want get back at UK. Dalton Smith, I fucking love you, WBC champion. You're the fucking best. Okay, I got nothing bad to say about you, but I want my get back. I You beat my Puerto Rican guy champion, bro. Okay, we no, we ain't forgetting that shit. All right, we went back and I got to get a guy up there. I got to get a guy, a Puerto Rican guy up there. You know what I'm saying? See if we could, and then Subriel Diaz, he's been announcing or alluding that he's coming back, but I'm not really too sure what weight he's going to fight at. I say I had the privilege to talk with Subriel Diaz for a very long time off the camera. And we were just sitting there just shooting the shit. And I was like, yo, Subriel, you ever see yourself like moving up? And he was like, no. He straight up told me right there between me and him, he was like, nah, I'm a natural 140 pounder. He's stuck in that weird weight where he's too big to go a weight down. He can't go to 35 because the weight cut would be too severe. But he's too small to move up because he's going to gain 7 more pounds and he's going to be sluggish. He's what we call he's legitimately fighting in his natural weight division, Subriel Matias. And he's in a tough place. There's a lot of fighters like that. Look at Navarrete. Navarrete looks a little like his body is not like muscular and stuff. And people said, you know what? You should go up. One weight move. He couldn't even beat Dennis Berinchyk. He's too big to go down. And he's too small, just small enough not to be able to function where his reflexes and everything start operating like at 135 type shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, at 130 type shit. Where that if he goes down from 130 to 126, I'm sorry, I had that a little backwards. If he goes down from 130 to 126, he's going to be too big. And if he goes from 130 to 135, he's going to be too small. But he's big for 130 in a weird way. Navarrete, there are fighters that their bodies just a few more pounds that way or a few less this way, they're not going to perform the same way. Nonito Donati went up one more weight division and he fared horrible. His physique, and you know what I'm saying? And then Loma beat the shit out of that dude. Beat him down. Like Loma destroyed him. I mean, he didn't even look like he should belong in the ring with Loma, man. It was bad, right? So it's, not all men are created equal. Not all guys like look. Hamza jumped up one weight division and he fought Edgar Berlanga. And if you turned off the volume in that fight and you would have asked me, which guy you think moved up? I would have thought it was Edgar Berlanga. The way Hamza was moving in that fucking ring. That shit did not affect him in the slightest. That weight jump did not even slow that man down, bro. He transitioned. He had one. Why? Bro, he had the frame. He had the, and he had the ability to do so. It's not always the frame. As I was saying that, I was also reminded by the Charlo twin. When the Charlo twin jumped up 2 weight divisions to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez, he was big. His shoulders were wide. He had a big back. I thought he was going to transition well. Maybe he could have. And what we saw was someone being distracted and not transitioning to the weight division. And then when he looked so horrible, you think about how skillful he was in his own weight division and you assume that he was transitioning well. No. Terrence Crawford proved to the world that if you were really locked in and you were training and you could transition from 2 weight divisions to the next one, Terrence showed with the right focus, the right dedication, and the right preparation, you can do it. I don't think that the Charlo twin had the same approach Terrence Crawford had. No. Now that I saw Terrence Crawford, now do I? And let me tell you something. Out of both men, I would have thought that the Charlo twin had a better chance of transitioning through the two weight divisions rather than Terrence. Because out of them two, Terrence is the smaller guy. And I would have thought that the Charlo twin would have put on the weight and fared better against Saul than the smaller Terrence Crawford. Terrence was better prepared, better trained, better motivated, better disciplined, better desire. It was way better than Charlo's, because Charlo, he thought all he had to do was gain weight and just be himself. Terrence understood something about fighting at a higher level. And when Terrence made the effort to jump up to fight Saul, he gave it the old college. He really prepared himself, not like the Charlo twin. You see? So, I mean, there are some cases like, take it for what you want. Read it the way you want to read it. Uh, but I'm letting you know, like, what's up, brother? Canelo is the face of boxing. You always got that hardcore Mexican fan that jumps in. Yo, shout out to Mexico, man. If you're just tuning in here or getting to know me, I love all my competing countries, always. And I will always preach this message to everyone, that um, I respect my rivals. I respect my competitors. I respect Mexican boxing. I respect Japanese boxing. I respect Russian, Ukraine, and I'm thankful for all your countries for competing against the U.S. and Puerto Rico. Those are my two. That's on my side, right? And I'm thankful for you guys. When the UK comes out and beats us, thank you, thank you, because you're pushing us to a higher level. If we're losing, we know we have to get better. And then when we beat you, we push your country. Sometimes the defeats, the wins and the losses, they can hurt. Your favorite guy can lose. You could be the kind of fan that you see a one fight and you get frustrated with boxing and you want to walk away. But I am never going to allow one situation, one boxing match to take me out like it did before. It did that to me 20 years ago. I must have watched some kind of fight, was real turned off by it, and said, you know what? I'm done with boxing over one fight. Rather than saying, okay, I don't like that situation, what happened in boxing, but there are a lot of other fights and boxing matches I could be watching. And because of my stubbornness and because of the fact that I want to see things my way, back then, I allowed certain situations to take me away from the sport I love. In fact, it made me go to the UFC. Once I got tired of watching all that grab assing, and I was like, okay, it was something new. Now we're kicking to the face and choking you out. It was fun to watch for a little while, and then it was like, no, it's nothing like, for me anyway, for two men to stand there, don't fucking grab me, try to choke poke me in the eye, shit. Bro, fight me man to man like this with our hands, let's go. And I went back to boxing. I felt a little silly when I came back to boxing because I had remembered why I left. Because of some situation and something. And then I watched Oshaki Foster versus Conceiao, the first one. And right there, once again, man, fuck boxing. This is crazy, right? Then I calmed down and I was like, all right, that shit happened. I've seen a robbery before in boxing. It's not the first time I've seen somebody get robbed. Okay, on to the next one, Edwin. Who's fighting next? Don't be so emotionally attached, Edwin. And that's how I got into this reporting thing and covering the fighters and stuff. And like my wife says, you have this ability to just like move on. And I think that this reporting shit and covering boxing and shit is right up my alley because, bro, I'll keep it pushing on the next. Y'all know how I do. And now I have a bit different mentality. I'm a bit older, you know, and no, one fight is not going to, one situation or two. No, it's not. Because I understand that in every city, in every country, things are different. Things are different. You know, a lot of people view the Olympics as like one of the most prestigious places where you can come up in amateur boxing and now today I think that the Olympics is trash. It's trash. It's just nothing but a bunch of stories about a bunch of American fighters getting robbed. That's all the Olympics look like to me now. I used to view it as such a like honor. Damn, going to the Olympics, like it was such an honor and it had so much fucking like value in boxing. And if you can get that gold medal, you can come into boxing and it could do so much for your career, right? And then you actually go back or you're reminded about the outcomes on the majority of, bro, they already have the winner picked. What country they want. You and if you knock him down in the Olympics, they're gonna score it as you were too aggressive and disqualify you. If you're not punching, yo, like all I have memories of the Olympics now that I'm much older are just a bunch of memories of all our US guys getting robbed, just robbed. Like you look back at those Olympic games and you're just like, you're just stunned. You're sitting there like, how the fuck did that guy win? I mean, literally, that dude that fought Roy Jones Jr. 20 years later or whatever it was, he literally came back in a public while they were filming and said, Roy, I want to give this to you. And he gave Roy Jones the gold medal he should have won. Now, even though the guy did the moral thing, it's not going to be in the history books, is it? That Roy won. Now, that doesn't change the history books, brother. Just morally, the guy gave it. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Look at fucking Shakur Stevenson crying. Look at you, like, bro, like, I'm not sure Keyshawn Davis lost to Andy Cruz when I watched that fight. I think Keyshawn beat him. All the Olympics is to me, man, it's just as a bunch of fucking robberies, bro. And I was like, Edwin, if you can deal with that, then you can deal with pro boxing. And here I am. Here I am. Yo, fight fans, man. Hit that like button for me, man. Hit them like buttons, man. Reach down and do a brother a favor, man. Because I really need the support right now because I got copyrighted that 21 times the last month. And YouTube has sent me that letter shit. And it's like, I got to get back into the good graces of the algorithm. They're only sending my video to like subscribers or like members. And they're not even kicking out my notifications. I had like this big red fucking thing across my YouTube channel, and it wouldn't let me get no monitoration till I addressed it. Then I addressed it. YouTube sent me that copyright infringing, like the rule structure. I had to like address that, check it, so I know that my videos are getting low views, and I know why. I know that they're not pushing out my videos because now I got to get back into that process again where people are liking it. The algorithm sees that they're hitting the like button and it starts to push it out. And then, like a lot of my subscribers and members are telling me, hey, Edwin, I'm not getting your notifications at all. Like I all of a sudden you're on and I'm like, yo, they didn't even notify me. So I get what's going on. I get what's going on and I know why. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, no, I don't know why this is going on. No, I fucked up. I fucked up. And sometimes I continue to fuck up when they're asking me not to do it. But I think it's funny when I put the Chappelle thing on in the funny when he's like, yo, why didn't you tell me the cheese was that good? Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get copyrighted for that. Yeah, I am. I think it's funny though. It's only a couple seconds, then I'll go and I'll erase it later. But I gotta understand that I still get a red stop sign. So once that red stop sign goes, they stop putting out the video. So the first 80, 100 people that saw it, it's being put out. As soon as they catch on to that little fucking thing, and you think I would stop doing it, right? A little hard headed, little hard headed. I don't see the harm in it. It's like Dave Chappelle. Like, are you mad? Like, let Dave Chappelle copyright me. You know, they got all these fucking laws and shit. Like, I think Dave Chappelle would be cool with it. You know, but yeah, man. It is what it is. So I gotta start doing and playing things right. I still play my intro with the music. I still play it, bro. I gotta make a whole new one, man. I think I'll take my time out today and I'll do that. So that's why I could, that way my videos can, because I think I'm hurting myself more than anything. You know what I mean? So I gotta stop being stubborn. You know, I'll be like looking at all these other videos and I'll be about all these other channels and I'll be like, fucking got that. He's showing you the entire fight. How is this channel still up? Right, right. Uh, those are non-monetized channels. I started to realize those are guys that make channels. And as long as you don't monetize and make no money off of it, like you could do the regular Cash App in the thing, and people can probably send you the super chats or whatever, but you're not gonna have a credit card, a bank account, everything. Like you're not gonna be monetized. And I started realizing that some people do that to build a channel, knowing it's gonna get shut down later. But it's okay if the channel gets shut down because people already know your name. So when you make another channel and you try to people, they're going to attract back to you. Not maybe all of them, but now you got a good start and you could start running your channel. So I guess there's a lot of ways to cheat. You could pay for subscribers. You could pay. I know a lot of channels that you can see blatantly they paid for their subscribers. These motherfuckers got 26, 27,000 subscribers and 37 views. 37 views or 100 views out of 27,000 subscribers. Bro, you bought bots. Obviously, the people that are watching your content are not into your content. You know what I mean? Like, so, and in boxing here, I'm not sure you can do that. You're not supposed to do that, but they do it anyway because the more, I guess, subscribers you got, I guess the more important he thinks he is. But I'd rather get my subscribers one at a time, or they can be two or three at a time. I don't care. But as long as we're talking boxing, long as my subscribers are into the things that I'm into, I really don't care about 26,000 subscribers. No, I don't. I'd rather have 5,000 solid subscribers than 26,000 bullshit subscribers. I'll get to the 26 one day, but it'll be built off what I do and what I'm talking about. It's impressive when I see that I have subscribers and shit, and just one subscriber is impressive to me. I have thousands of subscribers, right? But I think that I've done it the right way, you know? So, and that's all I can do. So, but that's that part of the business and the show and shit like that. The rest of it is talking about boxing, about these fights, these gladiators that are going in there and giving us these fights. You know, I'm thankful for Rolly and Tio. Shout out to you, gentlemen. You guys are getting it popping. Shout out to Navarrete and Oshaki Foster. You guys are going to get it popping. Now, I'm going to remind you. I am going to remind you about the Shaki and Navarrete situation, just in case you're not aware of what's going on in behind the scenes. That just maybe when Oshaki Foster and Navarrete meet for their title unification matchup, it will not be for all three belts. Okay? We all know that Oshaki Foster has the WBC. Navarrete has the other two belts. There's one belt missing, right? Here's the problem. Navarrete has the brown belt, the WBO as well. And the problem with it is Charlie Suarez is the mandatory challenger. He should be fighting Charlie Suarez now, not Oshaki Foster. And although now Navarrete and Oshaki want to get in there, test their skills against one another, great fight. The mandatory is in the way. And rumors saying that he's in negotiation with the one and only Vasily Lomachenko, Charlie Suarez. So here's the thing for Charlie Suarez. He has his own family, his own ambitions. He has his own dreams and aspirations of being a world champion. You got a fish right now on the hook with Navarrete, but he wants to go somewhere else. You could do whatever you want, Navarrete, but if you don't fight me, you're going to have to be stripped or vacate that WBO title. Make a decision. So what Navarrete and Top Rank and them should be doing is giving Charlie Suarez some step aside money. But if he takes that step aside money, he can take two paydays. You can take a payday from the step aside money, and then you can take a payday with the Loma fight. But Loma's team is telling Charlie Suarez and them, don't take the step aside money. Because if we fight, our fight will be for a world title. You'll be elevated the WBO champion, Charlie Suarez. So when on the day you do fight Loma, it'll be for a belt, and Loma knows that. Loma knows that. So Loma rather have Charlie Suarez in his team. Don't take the step aside money. Have them strip Navarrete. You get the belt. When we fight, it'll be for a world title at 130. Then Navarrete will be he'll be given the option. Either vacate the belt or be stripped. You choose. But we're going to give you the sword, and you choose how you want to go out. Navarrete can pick it up, vacate the belt. Or the organization will strip you. Whatever way you want to do it. Or, option C. There is an option C here, right? Don't fight Oshaki Foster and just fight Suarez, Charlie Suarez. Take the fight away from Charlie Suarez that he was going to fight Loma. He's taking the fight away from you, from Oshaki Foster. So say, fuck it. All right. You know what? You're not fighting Loma. I'm going to accept the fight. Sorry, Oshaki Foster, can't fight with you right now, but I'm not obligated to fight you. I'm obligated to fight him. So let me fight him, beat him. I'll spin block Oshaki, and we'll fight again. I'll give you my word in a small contract that my very next fight, if you let me go handle Charlie Suarez, I'll be spin the block and I'll fight you, Navarrete. If you want to take a fight to stay busy in between time, you can do that. Then we'll meet up and we'll leave Lomachenko standing right there, twiddling his fingers, figuring out his other options. Because you won't be fighting Charlie Suarez for a vacant world title because you won't have a fight. Or can we switch dancing partners? How about this? How about Navarrete fights Charlie Suarez and Loma fights Oshaki Foster? Loma, you still fight for a belt you want. Navarrete, you never get stripped. You get your title defense. And Oshaki gets a super fight with Loma. Why don't we just switch dancing partners? And no one gets vacated, stripped, and we all get what we want. Loma, you get it. Well, Navarrete in a sense, but you still get to keep both of your belts. See, Navarrete, even if you fight a unification, and let's say in a good world you beat Oshaki Foster, you still only got 2 belts. You came into the fight with 2 belts, you got stripped for one, won another one, you still only got 2. This way, you fight Charlie Suarez, you stay with the 2, and now you have the ability to fight for the 3 in your next one, whether it be Oshaki Foster or Vasily Lomachenko. It looks like Vasily's going to make a run for these belts. He's going back to 130 because he thinks he can wipe out the 130. So either way, Oshaki Foster, you're going to fight Loma eventually if you don't move up. Right? So let's just switch dancing partners. Let's get this popping. And then the 2 winners out of both agree to fight each other. What do you guys think about that? Leave me in your comments. Let me know in the chat. Is it, maybe we can do something like that. And it would also, it would also move things along and no one has to get stripped. You feel me? And I think it would please the masses. And you could still get that title fight for Loma. I think in that scenario, everybody's happy. You know why? Because then we get that rematch with Charlie Suarez and we get that answer back. We get the rematch with Charlie Suarez and Navarrete that we felt that Navarrete fucking dodged one right there. So you get that fight back. You get the return of Loma with a great fighter with Oshaki Foster. And it's for the WBC world title. I like that scenario. I like that scenario. Yeah. So fight fans, man, we got a lot of interesting, we got some fights come around. We got some fights coming up, guys. Gary Antoine Russell Jr. is still fighting too, right? He's fighting. I want to check him out. I like the brothers. I like the Russells. I like the Russells, man. They good for the sport. Good boxing family. Like the Mason brothers, like Keyshawn Davis and his brothers. It's cool. It's cool to see some brothers in the sport of boxing and shit, and I want to see a couple of fights. Who else? Right? I have it like in the back of my mind, right? Uh, there was another fight, but I didn't want to like veer off subject because I have a tendency to always doing that, right? So, I wanted to keep it just Tio, Rolly, and Oshaki, Navarrete, and just try to like base the show off them and stay right there and shit. So, but there's other fights on the cards. I'm not sure if that was the Clarissa Shield. What was that? Who am I thinking of here? There's a fight I know that but I remember when I watched it, I was like, nah, don't talk about that because that's gonna bring you into other conversations. And I'm trying to keep it there. but I think it was on actually the Rolly card. There's a let's see here. Okay. So Amanda Serrano's August 21st. Of course, we're gonna get Amanda Serrano. Shout out to the real female GOAT of boxing, Amanda Serrano. She is something remarkable, and she is about to go out there and break the boxing woman's knockout record. Now, I wish her luck, Amanda Serrano. Uh, now that I break down the fight with Amanda and that girl, uh, Annabelle, uh, I'm not sure Amanda can knock this girl out. To be, if I'm being honest, guys, she might not break this boxing knockout record. Amanda is all the way up there. You know, she's Asian gracefully. She looks beautiful every day. Uh, but her opponent is 27 years old. What? Right. Well, how old is her opponent again? Let me check it out. Hold on. Let me see. Amanda Serrano's opponent. Uh, how old was she? Amanda's 37 and she was 10 years. Yeah. The other girl is 27. Yeah, I remember now in my head. I don't got to look her up. Amanda's 37 and the girl's 10 years younger than her. It's not like, you know, Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields is 31. Her opponent was 42 years old with like 7 fights. The girl that Amanda's fighting got 6 years in boxing as a pro and is 27 years old. She's still in her 20s. Amanda's going on her 40s. She's starting to head that. She's on the other half of 35, trending that way. This girl is 27 years old. You didn't put in Amanda with a 42-year-old woman and asked her to knock her out. If they would have put Amanda in there with a 42-year-old woman, Amanda's breaking that knockout record. A 27-year-old spring chicken. Fuck Amanda, bro. Why they always make it way tougher for you? Like your fucking obstacle is way the difficulty level. It's not even close for like Larissa. Like, and when it comes to like female champion, Amanda, don't take this personal. Okay, I'm about to say some shit about women boxing champions, not about you per se. It might pertain to you and every women boxer, but Amanda and ladies, it's the fucking truth. Okay? It's way easier to be a female champion than it is to be a man's champion. And that's the truth, girls. Okay? That's just the truth. I'm not taking shots at you, and don't take that the wrong way. You know how ladies get, oh my God, no, like, no. What, Tim Tebow there? Fucking, she's been a champion for 2 years. She got 2 belts. Like, I mean, some women's division, you just sign up to the division, they gave you the belt. How many vacant titles did Clarissa Shield fight for? 11 vacant titles. 11 female vacant titles. How easy is it to be a female champion amongst females? And then when the competition level is never equal, for every Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, Alicia Baumgardner, Clarissa Shield, for every one a woman that is like that, there's 100 that's not. Then the next Katie Taylor's there. It's not like they're all these women are just killer. Like the competition is not as equal. A lot of these ladies are fighting late into their 40s because you can do that as a woman and be successful. There's not that many great female boxers. So if you can get one girl to rise up above, she's going to have a pretty historic champion. You know, she's going to have a lot of belts. It's not that. I mean, when Clarissa Shields became the female heavyweight champion on the world on that night, registered on BoxRec, there were 15 registered female heavyweight fighters on planet Earth. 15. Come on, guys. There's not enough women. So when the women try to run this shit on like, oh, look what I accomplished over the boys, we don't want to argue with you, ladies. Don't make us do this. Why don't you guys just be great for women? Why do you have to be great and compare yourself to who? The men. Your measuring stick is us. We don't have one in front of us. And we definitely, as men, not looking behind us. We are the standard. And sometimes some of these conversations get crazy. Nah, Clarissa Shield did something no man has ever. Whoa, 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 whoa. What you mean? We are not on the same level. You literally got 15 chicks in one division, and you're trying to, like, you wiped out a division. As a matter of fact, you only fought one time to that point in that division that you fought for vacant world titles. That is not the same as a division with 2,300 men, all from all over the world, competing to get to the number one spot to the belt. We are not the same. And as a matter of fact, 15 of the women that were in the heavyweight women's bracket, only 4 of them fought there. You know that, right? Come on, bro. Like, what are we talking about? You literally fought one and they gave you the belts. You ain't had no run. You ain't beat champion after champion. No, 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 no. Ladies, I'm sorry. And Amanda, please don't be mad at me. I'm not taking shots at the women. But y'all just continue doing your thing. You don't need to compare yourself to us to sell what you're trying to sell. Stay in your lane, stay in the women's, and how about this? We'll stay in our lane. How about that? Can we do that? Just for argument's sake. Okay, we're not better nor greater than you. Ladies, I don't want to argue with you. But just stay on your lane. Stay over there. We'll stay over here. We'll be responsible for the men, and you be responsible for the ladies. Can we do that? How about that? And I will never have to fucking speak up against any woman or nothing. I don't want to. I don't find no comfort in trying to prove that a man is better than a woman in something or the difficulty level. No, I don't want to do that. I know the answer to these things and I'm okay with it. Ladies, do you? Just you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not Clarissa Shields, you're not better than any man. And we're not trying to be better than you. We are not. It's not like the men win belts and go, I broke the great Clarissa Shields record. My God. Yo, Clarissa Shields had that record for so long in boxing. And I beat it. We're not doing that. No, we're not going on interviews saying, I matched the great Clarissa Shields in 2 divisions, all 4 belts. You know, since Clarissa Shields was the only person to do that, now I feel that I had to be, and we're not doing that. So let's just keep it cordial. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ladies, I love you guys. Do your thing. You don't need us. You're doing just fine. You know? So, yeah, Diablo, pug. There is no staying in your lane. Yo, it's you fucking pug. Fuck you, bro. Hey, yo, bug, bro. Ah, man. Yeah, Diablo. We're not opening that can of worms. I'm going to act like I didn't see that. I'm just going to keep the show going. Yo, don't try to Dave Chappelle me. I ain't going down that road. I'm not traveling down that road. All I have to say is Michael Jordan said it the best. I am not paying to see domestic violence. Whether you not you believe that women can compete with men, fine. If the women want to think they can beat up on men, that's okay. I know one thing that when I was 13 years old, I got in trouble. I feared my mom. Yeah. My mom would give us some decent ass whoopings, nice ones, right? And one day I did something. I have no idea what it was. I can't remember that far back. But I know I did something. And my mom took out the belt and started whooping my ass. At 13 years old, that day, I realized something. Every time she hit me with that belt, I didn't feel it. She was like, whap, whap, whap. I just grabbed the belt. That was the wrong thing to do, but I still grabbed it. Mom, chill out, man. Man, at 13, I was like, it's no, I'm too old to be getting hit with a belt now, lady. So she looked at me and she was like, you know what? You're right. And she punched me in the face. Then I got a punch in the side of the head. I got a knee to the stomach. Then she might have punched me in the back of the head a couple times. I went down and I was like, fuck, I should have never grabbed the belt. I was better off letting her hit me with the belt. My ass whooped. Bitch, me. And, I can't never, ever hit my mom back. So I had to take those punches in stride. I was like, damn, Edwin, man, you should have noticed that she didn't hurt you. You didn't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a boy, when you get taller than your mom, you start looking over her. I went through that age period where I was like, listen, Linda. Listen, no, lady, I'm gonna tell you what's going to go. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot who I was talking to. She reminded me real quick. That little lady can fight. Okay, all right. And, oh man, and she can run. My mom can run. I didn't know that about her. I said some slick shit to her one day, and I ran out the house in Woodland Street, and I ran all the way down to Hollywood Street. I ran all the way down, and I was running, right? And I was laughing. Because I didn't say no disrespectful shit to her. I said some slick shit like, why don't you pick that shit up? And I like ran out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like that when your mom comes home and she goes, look at the dishes in the sink. These are all your dishes. So one day I thought I was slick, I guess, and I did one of these type shits to her. I'm not sure I did exactly this that day, but I know me, and it was probably her dishes. And she was like, "You see the dishes there? Clean them." And I was like, "Yeah, they your dishes. You clean them." And I dipped right. And, yeah, I said some slick shit, and I came running. Yo, when I turned around, all I saw was this little 5'4", 3 little Latin woman with her glasses and her hair was in a bun. And and I looked like, and she was really chasing me. Bro, I must have been like a block down the street. I was running and laughing. And I was like, yo, she can run. I had a dip on her. Like, nah, chill. And she was yo, I had a dip on her. There was no talking to her at that point. I was gonna let her calm down and sneak into the house later. when she's calm. Yo, she would whoop my ass. Oh, hey, yo, and then like my mom was a powerful neighborhood lady. She was. If she couldn't catch me, she would tell the dudes in the neighborhood to grab me. Grab him. Yo, them motherfuckers would betray me. I mean, yo, son of a bitches, right? They would catch me down and bring me to my mom. I was, I love you, mom. Must have drove you crazy. I must have drove you crazy, man. I'm telling you, fucking Edwin. But anyway, bro, you never grabbed the belt. Oh, I grabbed the belt. I was young. I didn't know. I was 13, bro. It's just as a man, guys. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. We all went through this shit. I can't be the only one, right? Fucking, I had a certain. Anyway, I was young, man. My mom was like, grab the belt. She was like, oh, and I was like, oh, hell no, lady. Things have changed in this house. All right, all right. This is a man's world. Give me that belt. Listen, lady, ain't gonna be no more heads. It went from the belt to straight punches and bites. She would get so frustrated that her shots weren't hurting me that she would. And then my older brother, was the one that put me onto game. My older brother was like, "No, Edwin, when she hits you, just cower. Go ow, 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 like that. He'll hit you a few more times and we'll be done with it. Not me. I'm like, ah, lady, that's all you got. You know what I'm saying? My brother was the one that was like, my older brother was like, yo, Ed. My brother did that with my father. My my father pieced my brother up, man. I saw that shit that day. I was like, damn. It's like, damn, bro, you should have tried him, bro. you know? And my dad didn't live with us or nothing. Like when we would visit him and shit, I guess Jose got too old for his bridges. Yeah, it happens, Just child shit, you know what I'm saying? But never grab the belt, men. Never grab the belt. Just let them. And it's kind of like in the female sense of the word. These ladies, they trying to punch us in the face with their stats and statistics and belts and their achievement. Guys, let's not grab the belt. Can we agree not to grab the belt? Just let them have it. On some mom shit. You guys got get what I'm putting down? Are we on the same page? You know what I'm saying? If she was my daughter, I'd tell her, yo, your belt is the best belt in the fucking world. It's better than Ali's. Yeah, I said it. And she's my daughter. Because she's my daughter. And my daughter might go out there and lose her mind because of the encouraging words that her brothers, uncles, fathers, and men say to her. We tell our little girls, you can do anything you want. You're going to let my daughter play with you guys in the game. You're going to give her a chance. And you got a lot of fathers that back their daughters. A lot of fathers that love their daughters just as much as they had a boy. They weren't given a boy, they were given a daughter. They said, you know what? It doesn't matter. You're going to be great. And you got those fathers that are pushing those girls out there. So I can respect that. And as a man who has daughters, and, I'm not, you know, I'm not going to sit here and do this. Like my man said, yo, Edwin, go grab the belt. I'm not going to grab it. All right, girls, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, but anyway, fight fans, man, thank you for tuning in, guys, this morning, rocking out with me here around One Sports TV. I hope you guys had a laugh. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. We have these fights coming up, and tune in on the watch parties that I have that we will be breaking down the fights and putting up the Notre Dame's world title. If you think that you can call fights better than all of us here at Round One Sports TV, come show us your boxing knowledge, where we have a Notre Dame's world champion. No, I do not mail you the belt, just in case you were thinking. This stays here. But every time someone wins it, we honor you with the Notre Dame's World Championship. Now, this is my family's belt at my family's gym in Philadelphia. It's Kingdom's Boxing, and my family owns the gym, my sister, right? So and these are the belts we give away to the individuals that box there in amateur nights. So I got one of them and I put it up, and we honor the guys that come around and know their shit. We have a thing here that we say, okay, only the main event. Only the main event. We put up the main event, we put the belt on the line, we all put our names up and we guess the rounds. The name, you gotta guess the guy. You gotta guess the exact round. You do not get the ability to say 4, 5, and 6. No. You have to pick the exact round and the fighter to win the belt. Okay? So far here at Round One Sports Talk, the only person that was able to win the belt and defend the belt, your boy.
Round one.
That's right. So if you think you have what it takes, and you can call these fights like no one else, you think you can outcall me, Frontline, and the rest of the crazy Round One Sports Talk family? Bring it on. Bring it on. All right? Sometimes I fuck around. I want to see if some of you guys will win, because I like you guys to feel like you're a champion. And then I like to take it away. You know what I'm saying? And start picking fight. Bing, 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 bing. Right? Right? So I think I got what it takes to be the Notre Dame's world champion. Frontline right now is currently the Notre Dame's world champion. So let's give him his respect to my co-host
Round
Frontline,
one.
that we basically gave him the belt. Don't tell him I said this, okay? You know what I'm saying? All right, but he is the champion right now. I want my belt back. So I want my belt back. So I'm coming for the belt. So fight fans, thank you for tuning in. BTA to be announced. Hey, Pug, yo, listen, we gonna get it in, man. So listen, thank you for tuning in here this morning. I hope I made it, your day go by a little bit better. You had something interesting to watch. I hope we talked about these fights, and join us on the night of the fights, because everything is subject to change until fight night. So fight fans, thank you for tuning in. Family first, and I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk.
Round one.
Listen, do me a favor, guys. Reach down and hit that like button for me. Real talk. Just do me that solid, and have yourselves a blessed day. And I will see you perhaps later on tonight, because Frontline won't be working, and we'll get the band back together tonight. So meet me here around 7:30. Somewhere, maybe I might go on a little earlier, but I will send out notifications. Hopefully, I start getting back into the good graces of YouTube shit, and they start sending out my notifications again. So, fight fans, on to the next one. Have a great day.